Welcome back to the second episode of Stellaris for Beginners in 2.2. Now, last time we left off, it was the 6 years after the start of the game, and it's time to take a look at where we are at, because our next steps are going to be very, very crucial. Let's take a quick look at our galaxy map and where we are at. And there's a lot of stuff to take in. We know what the galaxy looks like, and we know what is nearby. So we're going to need to make a couple of decisions in terms of where do we want to expand to, how much we should expand, and what our mid to long-term goals are. So at this point in the game, we're already starting to make decisions on what our goals are going to be. Now, in this particular scenario, we want to tech up as fast as possible, and in addition, the fact that we have the precursors to First League, 1 of 5, and we just so happen to have rolled the best possible one, which is the First League. We want to focus quite a lot on getting science ships out there and surveying as much as we can, because we need to collect 6 precursor artifacts to find their capital world, which is in Anomalies. Now, I'm playing in the vanilla version of the game, and yes, I can confirm the First League capital is in fact in Anomalies, and that's not spawning inside of Megacorp. Now, how do we do this? So, we have our science ships, we have a bunch of them, we have a reasonable amount of alloys and a reasonable amount of energy credits. Now, alloys, as I mentioned before, are made to make ships, and these are for hiring our staff. Now, we have a single colony ship currently coming out, which we set up to colonize Sirius, which is that continental world at size 23 that we talked about last time. We're going to go and queue up 3 more science ships. Why? Because we want to be able to get that science as fast as possible. In addition, we want to get 100 influence. If you click on the influence button right here, there's an item called Map the Stars. Now, Map the Stars does the following. It increases survey speed, which is plus 25%, and on top of that, it increases anomaly discovery chance by another 10%. And that last one for us is incredibly important to get those precursor artifacts, because they will randomly spawn somewhere on the map, most likely in this little area and over here, but we want to make sure that we find it before anything else. In addition, we also want to make sure that we are looking around our space at what our choke areas are. Also, what we want to define as our core space. Now, as you can see, we've talked quite a bit. We still haven't unpaused yet, and I'm still talking about getting space. Our short to midterm goal is to get this cluster over here. All these pockets that are connected to each other, specifically all the way up to this star and all the way up to this star. This means there is 2 areas that anybody else can get into our space, which means that we can defend it. And on top of that, there is a patch here, which is also known as a nebula. Any system that is in that nebula, we can build special buildings on that may give us additional resources. So let's unpause here. Let's speed things up a little bit. Let's get our construction ship going. We don't have that much minerals in the bank. We do have a lot of energy though, so what we're going to do is we're going to start building up all these minerals and all these tech items, because we have a reasonable amount of energy. In addition, we're going to go to our capital world by clicking on the outlier here. Complete. And we have found a massive skeleton. What a delight. And we go to the Decisions tab. Now, the Decision tab basically outlines any sort of quote-unquote decision that we can do on this planet. And this goes for every single planet in the game. It may feel a little bit micromanagey, however, it is rather useful. So what do we want to do? Well, considering the amount of consumer goods that we have and considering the amount of food that we have, we may actually want to go ahead and distribute luxury goods and encourage planetary growth. We want to grow our population as fast as possible. Sure, we'll go down to only 13. How much do we have? Well, I'll make that 47. And, well, we'll go to 300 luxury goods. But that's fine. We can totally afford this, and it will increase our ability to produce on this planet. So, luxury distributed will increase amenities as well as immigration pool. Immigration pool doesn't do anything for us at the moment. But amenities, however, will generate additional happiness. The more happiness there is on our planet, the more content our workers are, the higher the stability is, the more output we will get from our different pops in our various strata. Now, we did talk about that last time a little bit. We'll go a little bit deeper into that later on. But in the meantime, let's continue on and have a discussion about the Empire Sprawl, or as it used to be called, administrative capacity.
Construction complete.
Now, administrative capacity is a soft cap. This means that we can easily go over it. But as soon as we start going over it, it means that we will incur penalties.
Research complete.
By going over it, I mean the following. Let me just quickly set up something cheap here, like automatic exploration. Yes. So with the Empire Sprawl, so everything in the game that you build on the galactic map has a cost. A district, which is of course one of these things, will cost you 1 Empire Sprawl. Colonizing 1 planet will cost you 2 Empire Sprawl. And every single system that you colonize will incur you 1 Empire Sprawl. Now, through technology as well as traditions, which are these things, specifically the expansion tradition, we will be speccing into that later, we can increase our Empire Sprawl and negate any sort of negative balances that we have. Playing around the Empire Sprawl or slightly under it is considered to be playing tall. That means that we are playing as optimally as possible, getting all the resources that we want within our Empire Sprawl. Playing an Empire Sprawl super wide means that we just go over it and do not care and let the amount of buildings that we have basically adapt for that. Well, that's not really the word I'm looking for, but yeah, basically compensate for that. That's definitely the word I was looking for.
Construction complete.
So our colony ship is about to come off the production line, and as you will see, as soon as it comes off, we will most likely be running a deficit. Yes, we are.
System
So let's quickly take a look at our colony ship by right-clicking on it. It has 1 upkeep. Now, thankfully, this is different from the past, because in the past it would have cost 8, but that's thankfully no longer the case. And now also all of our new science ships will be starting to roll off of the factory line, which is a great little thing. So, we've had a little bit of time. We got 130 influence. We're going to enable that right now. Right immediately, it is very important that we do. We're going to go and hire a bunch of scientists. The better the better that we can get them, the sooner we'll just hire them. So this one, for instance, has a survey speed modifier. We would like to have that one. However, right now that one is commanding a other science ship already. So we're just going to have to recruit a scientist that we preferably do not have. So, for instance, in this case, we got an expertise biology, but we already have a biology one. So optimally, we should have gone for the New Worlds one. In addition, we have a maniacal one that just popped up. And maniacal, as well as a brilliant scientist, will give you additional bonus to research speed. You generally want to hire them regardless, and then basically go to your technologies tab, and then say, hey, this one over here. This one is giving us a 15% research speed in computing. Okay, fair enough. This one is going to give us a research speed in New Worlds, which is not that great. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the scientist that does all of that stuff. And then this other scientist, who is currently sitting around at level 2, we're just going to throw onto the science ship and send out there on the stars. And once again, by clicking and holding the shift key, we can just very quickly select stuff. And there's another science ship fresh off the factory line. And look at that, we have another scientist ready to go. Set them to survey and start sending them out there. We are looking for precursor artifacts. That is our primary goal right now. If we were of any of the other precursor chains that is not the first league, it's usually not worth your time. But maybe the Cybrex, which is one of the other ones as well, which can give you a ruined ring world. But for when it comes to the first league, it is so worth your while. I cannot understate how important it is to get this one quickly. Do we have an industry one? Let's have a quick look. Yes, we do. And we have a colony one. Yes, we do. So we want to go for the adaptable one in this case. So I'm picking scientists with different skills. Why am I doing this?
Research complete.
Well, you're about to see. As you can see, we just unlocked planetary unification, which gives me a monthly unity bonus of 2, as well as additional edicts and or campaigns. We will go into that shortly. However, right now we can go and say, hey, this scientist over here, he's good at statecraft. Okay, but our maniacal researcher only gives us a 5% bonus to this particular type of tech. So what we can do here is see if we have a statecraft scientist, which we do not. We can take a look. Is there a statecraft scientist over here? No? Okay, then we do not need to specialize on our technology and leave it at that. Of course, we can pick any of the other ones. Let's say we want to go for the pop growth one. And I know that we have a biology scientist, so what we can do here is we grab a biology scientist, preferably a relatively low skill one, and put them in the slot. So what this means is we now will research this technology 15% quicker, which is a rather large bonus. But of course, this science ship that the scientist was on before will now be empty, so we're just going to grab this maniacal researcher and put him on. Oh, that's the wrong direction. And we're going to put him on there and go down here and see what we can find. I know this is very min-maxy. You don't necessarily need to do this by yourself. It's definitely a thing that is to relatively optimize your setup. Again, you don't need to do it. So we found an abandoned amusement park. That is not what I wanted. And we're running a little bit low on energy credits. Don't be worried that when you're in the minus. Being in a minus is not a negative thing. Right now, we have 27 pops on our planet, and we could build an additional district. Sure, we could totally do that. However, let's spend a bit of energy, because we have a sprawling slum on this planet. And if we see here, on clearing, 1 human pop is created. We're about to get a pop for free.
In progress.
In addition, we just put down our first cool named colony. And it's going to take some time to develop. Now, the development of the colony will be done in approximately 5 years, and then we can take a look back at this here setup. Now, let's take a look here. There's no upkeep cost from what I can see, which is great for us.
System survey complete.
But now we've come to the point where we're just like, look, we need some more energy. We need some more energy from somewhere. Where are we going to get all that energy from? Well, we have a few choices. First of all, we could find a system that has a large amount of energy in it and build an outpost in it. This one, for instance, which has 6 energy in it, which is great for us. In addition, what we could also do is we click on any of the top bar items, and there is that ancient precursor civilization. We'll get to that shortly. And then, for instance, select consumer goods, sell 500, and now we have enough energy. However, we want minerals, so we can't trade consumer goods straight for minerals. We always have to get energy first and buy, say, 100 minerals. Yeah, let's make it 400. And now we should have enough money to build a district for 300 minerals. Exciting times. So we're going to build a single district here to get additional energy. We just got that slum off. We got a 100% capacity on our planet. We're a little bit in the minus on minerals, so we can do that as well. But first, we're going to go through the space stuff. Anyway, we find ourselves a relatively hard anomaly, and it's an ancient precursor civilization anomaly. So, considering it's very hard, it's going to take 3 years to take a look at. What do? Are we going to research it? Are we going to click on here, on the portrait of the scientist, pick a more competent scientist to do it? No. We're going to leave it for now, because we want to find as many precursor artifacts as we can, but we need to know where they are first, and then we're going to send our best qualified scientists out there to find them in the field. At this point, we also probably want to build another construction ship. Another precursor civilization. It looks like that the Map the Stars setup is going to be paying off dividends, because we have 1, 2, and there's a third one over here. Let's take a quick look at our situation log. The first league. We don't know about them yet, but it looks pretty good.
System
ancient precursors.
complete.
3 ancient precursors so far. And remember, we need 6. But in addition, we can get Polytechnic Education, and that will give us a bonus of our leaders will be better faster, which means they can survey faster, research faster, and be overall better. And on top of that, the leader level cap, which means that they can become stronger leaders because they'll stay in school for longer. And we also have a interesting. That is a barren world that may be terraformable at some point, so we will keep an eye on that one.
Found.
Okay, so far these are all routine, which is good. We definitely need more energy, but we also want to start expanding.
Complete.
Let's move our construction ship over here. Okay, another faint one. Of course, you can read all of these text blurbs. They are quite interesting. There's quite a lot of stuff to be read there as well, and it's part of the storyline of the game. Not that there is a storyline of the game, but you get the general idea. And we just found a size 23 barren world that is a terraforming candidate, and it's in an excellent spot as well. It's at a crossroads. This could be an excellent fortress system at some point in the future, but of course we're going to need to claim that system first. Good. Our construction ship is done. We do not have enough minerals at the moment. So let's just sell a bunch of food, get some more stuff, and now we can start building this energy up here. And there's quite a lot of energy in the system, up from 6, which is pretty good.
System survey complete.
Now we're very, very rapidly.
Hostile fleet.
Oh, we got ourselves some enigmatic spacefarers. Basically our very first contact, and it looks like it is going to be drones. Okay, and they are over here. Now what happens here is that our scientist has managed to walk into a system that has drones in it. Now it will automatically jump out of the system, but only if the following button is enabled. And this is very important. Fleet stance. Now, a fleet stance can be set to 2 items. It can be set to evasive, and it can be set to passive. There's also a third one, which is aggressive, but for science ship, there's only these 2. Evasive means that if there's an enemy or anything flagged red in the system, it will automatically try to jump out and disengage. It can also be set to passive. It will then just mosey along, doing its own thing, and try to survey as much stuff as they can. When a science ship is set to passive, it will automatically jump back to its previous location, and all of the survey routes that were initially set up will be automatically cancelled. Sadly, that is the case, but there's not much we can do about that. So we're going to need to reset our survey routes and see what we can get from here. Now, this system is now flagged as dangerous, and we don't really want to go in there. So what we can do is the following. We can go and set the system as restricted. This means that this will now be labeled as red, and none of our ships will ever fly into this system. Any automatic routing will always avoid this system. So for instance, if you want to say avoid this system, but this is the shortest route to here, this will, and we set this one to being blocked. Basically, our ships will try to find a different route to get to where they need to go whilst completely avoiding this system. This can be really good when encountering some of the Leviathans from the Leviathan expansion. So if you want to make sure that your stuff doesn't die. In addition, we have an election. Let's go to our ruler. So our ruler is this person. It's a level 3 governor. But that's not really important for us. What is important for us is the following. And that is that this governor has a goal. And with this goal, we can earn 6 months worth of unity. And in order to get that, we need to build 2 city districts. Now, every single leader character has a mandate or a goal. And this can change. Sometimes they're minors. Sometimes it is stuff in space. Research stations, more food stuff, more mining stations, etc. And you will get a bonus based on you doing those things for the leadership. Okay, so we have a reasonable... We're going to be getting a reasonable amount of influence very soon. That's very good. We are definitely getting all of this stuff. That's excellent. And our next...
Construction complete.
This one. Excellent.
Anomaly found.
And that is a precursor. Excellent. We're now on 4. Cool. We have 4 precursors. We're going to leave it for now and move on. We don't want to take a look at it yet. We want to get those precursors. Very important that we do. But again, only
System
when we have
survey
the first
complete.
league. This is a routine one. We can very quickly do that one.
Construction
So,
complete.
let's get... Oh, we don't have enough minerals. Okay, so let's just go into the market. Let's sell some trade goods. And let's build some more mining stations if we can.
System survey complete.
And it doesn't look like we don't have enough minerals. Wow, okay. That's a fascinating little experience. But there's a level 5 in here, so we can't even... Oh, we never bought the minerals. I am an idiot. There we go. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to right-click, build all the mining stations in the system, and we're going to leave the tech stuff alone. Now we found a natural wormhole. What an exciting times. A natural wormhole is a instant travel point to anywhere in the galaxy. We don't know where this goes. We currently cannot explore it because we do not have the wormhole stabilization technology. But for in the future, it's going to be really important that we get control of that, because who knows where that goes. In the meantime, it looks like we have found some new rare resources. There's 2 of them in this system, as well as a bunch of alloys. That makes this system very important for our cause. And we want to claim this as fast as possible. Preferably these 2 systems, because that will lock down our pockets that we have here. So, and then work our way down here and basically get resources where we can. In the meantime, we have our first faction. Factions are what makes the world go round, and this is a rather important one as well. We have a new faction, which is a group of people within our empire, and I go there by clicking on the faction button down here, or I can go down here and click on factions, and it will bring open this menu. Right now there is a certain amount of pops in our empire, and a certain amount of pops have decided they want to build a faction. Now this is the Free Citizen League, and the Free Citizen League consists of 17 pops, and they will generate 2.25 influence for us a month. As you can see, we went from 3 to 5.25. Now this will go up and this will go down based on technologies, or if we do not go for all their issues. For instance, this particular faction doesn't want us to be anti-autocratic. They want to have free movement. They want to have reproductive reforms, freedoms. They want to be anti-stratified. Basically, if you go into your policy screen, you will see that there's all these options available to make your factions happy. But be aware that those policies also can impact your empire negatively. So this one has ran out. We don't have any automatic exploration yet, which is a little bit unfortunate, sadly. And I almost feel that we need another science ship, to be fair. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we go down here as well, because I'm pretty sure that the First League has a relatively thin band. Yeah, I thought as much. So there's 2 in here. Ah, okay, there you go. So there's I think they have a relatively thin band of potential spawning chance. Was it this one? No, it was the other one. So this guy. Okay, so you can start going over here, and then the other one, which is this one. Yeah, I want you to go over here, and then into this area of space to see what is over there. We already have 2 scientists down here. There's 2 over here, and there's
System
1 over
survey
here.
complete.
A small docking hatch. Well, that's just fascinating. Good. So we now have 39 influence. We want to basically fill up this area
Anomaly found.
as fast as we can. A toxic biosphere. Let's have a look. Now, there's something that we need to talk about, and that is these icons in space. It's called trade value. Trade value is what keeps our economy going. Now, trade value is calculated through the following. If we click on this little button down here, it's called the trade route map mode. On the trade route map mode, we will see the total capital trade value that is being collected at our capital, which is fine. However, we know that there is at least 14 more trade value in space. But how do we collect that? Well, it's actually quite easy. First of all, we're going to need to build a following thing. Let's go to our system here. Let's click on Starbase. Let's go to Starbase itself. And let's upgrade it. Now this will upgrade the starbase into a stronger version of itself, and that's listed up here. We can only have 3 of them
complete.
currently. Okay, we got Xeno Rights Movement. Let's see if we can get this derelict shipyard going as well. Okay, powered exoskeletons. Let's go for something cheap. More miners, and again, that's the expertise industry overlapping, so we're looking pretty good here. So that is nice. And in addition, we have a new faction that has popped up. Now this faction is the Xeno Rights Movement. They don't want us to purge anything, and they would like to find a new contact, because they have heard on the grapevine that there are Xenos out there, and they want to meet them, which is fair. That's perfectly fine. We're gonna try to make that happen.
Construction complete.
But first, we need these alien precursors, because we really need the First League station. Now, it's not completely uncommon to continue playing with the precursor empires till the mid game, because at some point space is empty and there's no stuff to research anymore, which is fine. And then over time, new artifacts will start popping up. But considering this is this particular precursor, we want to rush out there as fast as possible. Alright, so we want to build an outpost. We're going to send...
Construction complete.
There's a light show. And there's a precursor. This one we can do. But we're going to leave it for now.
Research complete.
So let's go take a look at our anomalies. 1, 2, 3, 4. We just need one more. Just one more precursor is all we need. Blue laser and research speed. Okay, we got blue lasers for free because of that event. That's nice. Okay, so far so good.
Construction complete.
You are going to go in here and start getting those mining stations, and you cannot go over here because we have not surveyed the system yet. That's slightly unfortunate. Purple rain,
System
happiness.
survey complete.
And we're going to get our next modifier
Anomaly
in the
found.
tradition. 300 days, cool. Faith in science or data link upgrades. Well, we are not building a lot of research stations in space right now. We want to get our pops working cheaper. So that's exactly what we're doing. Alright, so Bernard Star, the station is done. So we click on it by going here, or we can click on this little icon on the map over here. As you can see, this is our station. Now the station is going to be the location where we are going to be collecting all the trait materials nearby. And how are we going to do that? Well, there's these slots of modules up in here. Let's click one. There you see, there's the trade hub. Starbase modifier, collection range, +1. So it will automatically already collect any materials in the system that it's in. However, if we build 2 of these, we will automatically be collecting everything that's 2 jumps away. So 1, 2, 3. So these 3 together are just basically 1 away. If we find any more trade goods later, which we have over here, then we can use that to get even more stuff. Although right now, even though it's 1 jump away on every single one of them, we only need 1 of them. So let's not overspend. Let's make sure that we have enough alloys, because who knows what's on the horizon. And we want to be really careful with that. Cool, we got enough minerals here to build whatever we want.
Anomaly found.
Looking very good. Good. Very good. Outliner. Earth. We have a bunch of building slots available. Well, we've got 1 building slot available, actually. What do we want to do with this building slot? Well, we had just unlocked it because we have 30 pops on our planet. We got enough housing. We got enough amenities. We got enough districts available to build whatever we want. We got enough food. We got enough energy. We got enough minerals. So we can build something special, something cool, something fun. But oh no, we do not have enough minerals. So we'll just have to sell a bunch of resources and then buy a bunch of stuff and then go back to our planet. So what can we buy here? Well, we can buy some luxury residences that will increase our housing. Hollow theaters. By the way, this is what we're building. Commercial zones, which will increase the trade value of the planet. A precinct housing, which we don't need because we do not have any crime right now. Yes, crime is a thing. Or a research lab. Ooh. I'd rather buy a research lab because tech is awesome.
Anomaly found.
Okay. And Let's take a look here. So we're just waiting for this science ship to be done in this system over here. So let's move one of our construction ships over there.
Construction complete.
Bernard Star is
System
done. As you can
survey
see,
complete.
all these have been removed. If we... Ooh, lost the space. Ooh. Let's quickly Control-Shift-click that to see if we can find anything cool about that.
Special project complete.
And they're all dead. So it doesn't really matter. Anyway, ooh, critical failure. Oh god, we lost one of our scientists. That is definitely not great. So we're going to need to rebuild that immediately. And that's the positives and the negatives,
Anomaly
right?
found.
Gas giants, promising mining site, yada yada. I'm not really interested.
Construction complete.
Jump straight over here. Another special project. We've discovered an alien ship adrift.
System survey complete.
Can we actually do this? No, we need... Let me guess. We need a construction ship for this. Adrift, yes. We need a single construction ship. Ironically, we just happen to have one of those, and it was already going to go to that system.
Found.
But we're still
Research
desperately
complete.
trying to find another precursor item. Gene clinics. Good, as long as you
System
built them
survey
early.
Complete.
Because the cost
System
of
survey
investment is going
complete.
to take you at least 150 years before it's done. Let's very quickly get a new scientist as well. You should know by now how this process works. Where was this? Oh, it was all the way... Oh, it was up here. Ooh, that's definitely not good. That's a likely area where the precursor stuff will spawn.
Construction complete.
Ooh, that is worrying. Okay, so almost there. We just need to claim
Research
this system.
complete.
Automatic exploration. Research station outputs. That's fine. And so far, so good. And we've got a special project done. Now, this special project has generated for us the possibility of getting a new ship, or we can enhance our ship speeds for all of our ships and increase sublight speeds by 10%. As you may guess, repurposing it into a science ship is not a good idea, because we can increase the speed of our entire fleet rather than just getting one science ship, which you will most likely blow up. That's generally how that goes in this game.
Construction complete.
Scientists are leveling up. In the meantime, we can get this one underway. Excellent. We're almost there. We just need one more system, and then we've got everything that we needed for our short-term expansion. Did we just made first contact? We could have.
Construction complete.
Okay.
System survey complete.
Some Xenos creatures. Okay. We're almost there. It looks like we're going to be in just in time.
Evading hostile fleet.
Okay, we found some more. Crawling on the planet's surface. Interesting. Planet is prohibitively radioactive. Interesting. What is this? Ooh, pre-sentience. Interesting. So we can potentially uplift those later. So yeah.
System survey complete.
And we found some dark matter. It's too far away from our space for our initial goal. But yeah, we're going to go and wrap up this particular episode of Stellaris for beginners right here. This is more of a running series. We're basically walking through the process, holding your hand as we can. So let's quickly recap what we've done this episode. We have specified what we want to build into. We have made our initial decisions. Our initial decision was go full tech, go full science, because we desperately want those precursor First League artifacts. If we can get all 6, we will get a free planet that's size 25, and that is amazing. In addition, we've decided that we want to claim this part of space, even though it is slightly over our admin capacity, our Empire sprawl. And that by itself is not really a problem because we can be over it slightly. Sure, there's a bunch of costs involved, a bunch of analysis, but we can offset that in the future by getting more Empire sprawl modifiers. In addition, we got our first colony up and running. That's cool name, of course. There it is. It is on a migrating forest world, which is going to cause some problems in the future, but we'll see. And we have discussed how trade value works. If you have any other questions on how to deal with Stellaris at this stage of the game, we are now 15 years in, and most likely next time we're going to be making first contact, so that is going to be exciting. But in the meantime, yeah, like I said, leave your questions below. In addition, this is the vanilla version of the game, and if you want to have the opportunity to win some of the other expansions, whether or not it's Megacorp, Utopia, Apocalypse, Leviathan, Synthetic Dawn, or Distant Stars, until the 31st of December 2018, I'll be running a competition, which is in the description below, and you can win any of these expansions just by participating. That's all you need to do. We're gonna go wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take good care of yourselves, and as always, each other.